Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end of the regular week. Kind of, almost, maybe. There's still light outside. We just finished watching Smackdown. What? That means this is the Smackdown rundown.
People's elbow.
I can't.
Wee.
Wee. Ow!
Stuck.
Ow!
You forgot to open the portal to hell in the middle of your couch.
Ow! The people's hellhole. Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta go through. I was gonna start talking about SmackDown. We gotta go through matches
what
first.
matches happened first.
Alright, so we had the Primetime Players defeat the Ascension and the Lucha Dragons. We had Ryback defeat Stardust. We had Kevin Owens defeat Zack Ryder. We had Neville defeat Kofi Kingston. We had Roman Reigns defeat Sheamus.
Yeah. Stuff happened.
So we open up with a really awesome promo.
Yeah, this is a not happening very often. Seth Rollins is being completely 100% serious.
When he gets into serious mode, like, he is so on point with his thoughts, his alliteration, his emotions. He's able to really captivate an audience with his promos when he is so set on what he's going to do. And he talks about how we're pretty much, almost a year to the day when he turned on the Shield and joined the Authority. And he talks about, the questions he's gotten over the course of the year, and the fact that Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose are still, living in his shadow. But he still has to deal with the fact that even though he's the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time, he doesn't have a title.
Yes.
And that's because of Dean Ambrose. Because Dean Ambrose, he says is delusional. Says that Dean Ambrose thinks he's the WWE champion. Well, he's not. And when I go into Money in the Bank in 2 weeks, it's going to be my title that's above the ring. I'm going to climb the ladder. I'm going to grab that championship, and then I'm going to prove that I am the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time. And he's so good. This was the best Seth Rollins promo I've ever seen. So Dean Ambrose comes up on the Tron and says,
he's trying to get Seth off of his high horse.
Oh yeah, well, that's Dean's thing. He's like, you know what, you can stand there.
My name's Dean Ambrose,
and I'm gonna fuck you.
Good at two things: mastering titties and busting chops. Time to get your chops busted, son.
Because right now the titties he masters are busy.
Well, he just looks at Seth Rollins. He says he ain't got no titties to master, so he must have chops to bust.
And Dean Ambrose is also a great promo guy. So he's able to bring his kind of psychotic, he goes on this rant about how over the last year he's learned to grow eyes in the back of his head. He's had to be on a swivel at all times. That since the breakup of the Shield,
the eyes in the back of the head was just because of that radiation accident.
Dude, we're not supposed to talk about that. Oops, it's classified.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't do deathmatch wrestling in Chernobyl.
It changes a man.
Yeah.
But he says that anytime he goes out there, he's on the endangered species list because the Authority is always after him. And he says that when he goes to Money in the Bank, he's walking in with the title and he's walking out with the title. And there's nothing Seth Rollins can do about that.
Yeah, well, he's got at least 50% right in that phrase.
He will definitely walk into the building with the title.
More than likely.
I hope he walks out with the title because it'd be cool.
That would be cool. Don't get your hopes up.
So then we had our first match. It was a triple threat tag team match to determine the number one
contender
for the tag team titles. We had the Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, and the Primetime Players. All three teams were just in the Elimination Chamber, and they all eliminated each other. We had the Ascension eliminated the Lucha Dragons, and the Primetime Players eliminated the Ascension.
And the Lucha Dragons eliminated the Primetime Players.
Well, the Primetime Players eliminated themselves. Because they're like, oh, we should have kept in the Masters to help us get rid of the New Day.
Oh yeah, because they dumb.
They fucked up.
Titus O'Neil got the stupid head. What? You smile, so take a pictures again.
This was a cool opening match. You're getting a lot of the Kalisto's able to do a lot of the big impact spots because he's got Titus O'Neil in there, he's got Connor in there, so they're able to do a lot of just really high impact stuff. Lucha Dragons are diving all over the place, and then we get Titus O'Neil is on a fucking rampage. We saw him do this a couple of times over the course of the week. Elimination Chamber, we saw him do it on Raw. He just goes on a whole tirade and ends up...
I'm always afraid he's going to hurt Darren Young, too.
Well, he almost did at Elimination Chamber. Yeah. We almost saw him throw Darren Young into the chamber itself. But Darren Young ends up on the outside with Sin Cara. And then Kalisto tries to do a crossbody onto Titus. He catches Kalisto, throws him at Connor, eliminates both of them, so he's left in the ring with Victor, hits apparently his new finisher, the Pump Handle Slam, picks up the win, and the Primetime Players are officially the #1 contenders for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which moves backstage to the New Day.
Yeah.
To get their thoughts on the #1 contenders, the Primetime Players for their match at Money in the Bank.
Yes.
And the Primetime Players are not worried whatsoever. Well, yeah, the New Day aren't worried.
Primetime Players probably aren't worried.
No. The New Day also aren't worried. And they're also very confident in Kofi Kingston's ability to walk out with the Money in the Bank briefcase as well.
Even though he's never done it before.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a fucking swerve?
Hell yeah. But Kane comes in and says, you know what? You guys seem to be having a good time. I don't want to bring it down at all, but Kofi has to face Neville. Go.
Well.
Have a
ain't that a bitch?
pleasant day.
That's awesome, because I'm excited to see Kofi versus Neville.
Yeah.
That's a matchup we haven't gotten yet.
And I'm wearing my New Day socks.
I'm not wearing socks, so. Yep. So then our next match, we had Ryback, the new Intercontinental Champion, facing Stardust. This wasn't an Intercontinental title match. It was just strictly, hey, look, Ryback is strong. And he made pretty quick work of Stardust.
Yeah. The match did last a little longer than I expected.
Yeah. So Stardust got a flurry or two. Had Ryback down once or twice, but not enough to seal a victory.
Yeah, and I'm not... I guess because we still have to make Ryback look strong.
I don't know.
I didn't get why this match happened. I feel like it's weird because he's the Intercontinental Champion, but I also feel like it was a complete space filler.
Like the thing me and Thomas talked about on the Raw review is I don't understand why they're throwing Big Show in this situation when fucking Bray Wyatt beat Ryback at Payback.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that immediately put him as #1 contender? But instead we fed him to Roman Reigns. Granted, I loved what they did with Roman Reigns, and they had an awesome match. But still, shouldn't Bray Wyatt get a shot at the Intercontinental title? Because he did beat the champion before he was the champion.
Yeah, but he didn't also eliminate a couple people from an Elimination Chamber match, though.
It's because they put the guy he beat at Payback in the chamber instead of him.
Oh, yeah.
And Mark Henry, who hasn't been around for a couple of months. And Wade Barrett, who keeps losing.
Henry.
Do something with Bray Wyatt, goddammit.
Mark Hangry.
All the time.
Yeah.
Always hangry. Then we had Renee Young talking to Paige, talking about the fallout from the Divas title match we had on Monday's Raw.
Twin Magic. I don't know why I was saying it.
It happened to your wife. You should be mad.
I thought I was going to come up with a clever jingle, and that, by the time I finished saying Twin Magic...
There's nothing clever about the Bellas, including Twin Magic.
But I got to the end of Twin Magic, and I was like, nope, got nothing.
Yep.
Fuck.
Paige is...
Sorry, guys.
Paige is pissed off.
Let you down.
She's not happy.
And neither am I.
Neither am I, because it was
If she's
bullshit.
not happy, I'm not happy.
Yeah, it's...
Things to the house are bad.
Yeah. Is that why you're here a lot?
Yeah.
That's why you weren't here on Monday. You actually get to go home. She was working.
Yeah, Raw.
Yeah, she's upset
Getting magicked.
And she talks about how the Bellas are the reason that the Divas are being held back.
Yeah, they're pretending to give Divas a chance.
Yeah, you know, they're hogging the spotlight.
Yeah.
All they want is the red carpets and the big parties and the celebrity lifestyle. When the rest of the Divas, they want a shot to show what they can do in the ring.
Yeah.
And and she lists off a couple of the Divas, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, Paige is leading a mutiny against the Bellas, and I am so okay with it.
Yep. I mean, if you look at it too, it makes sense that the Bellas are trying to take charge in both in ring and outside the ring.
Yes.
You know, it always seems like, you know, Nikki Bella's the champion, so it's always about the Bellas when the championship is involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time I see a preview for Total Divas anything, it is almost always revolving around one of the Bellas.
Yes.
You know, so it's just they're hogging everything.
Yeah, they're...
And Paige is getting sick and tired of it.
And she gonna kill a Bella. 4-2.
Or change the world, she says.
Yeah.
If you don't like the world you live in, change the world.
And I like it. And,
she's like very Gandhi-esque. Be the change you want to see in the world.
She's Mahatma's Gandhi.
She is hotness.
Anyway, that was a... Sorry, bad joke. So then we had Rowan and Harper. Even though they didn't do anything after this.
No.
But Harper talked about how, you know, we tried to be a part of your world, but we're too different from you.
I'm seriously considering how hard I think Luke Harper actually tried. Not very. Rowan tried to make some friends.
Hey, you know what? Luke Harper played hot potato with the Intercontinental title. He played a human game, and it didn't work out very well.
No, but you got to powerbomb Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania through a ladder.
True.
Which is more than you could say for Eric Rowan.
Wasn't Rowan on the Battle Royal?
Yes. Probably. I don't remember.
There's a lot of people.
I was there. So was Kane.
So was I. But Harper, I like that they're back together though. This makes me excited. Harper saying, you know, we tried to be a part of your world, but you denied us. It's because we don't look like you. We're different from you. Well, now you're gonna pay for your sins. And it was cool having Rowan, you know, because
the Reaper's coming knocking.
Yeah, I love that. You know that he's got a very eloquent way of speaking, and because Rowan is the simpleton, he just says a few things that kind of add a real creepy edge to everything, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see both Harper and Rowan start doing a little bit more on the main roster. But up next we had Kevin Owens and his NXT Championship Open Challenge. He first went on a huge
tirade.
Yeah, just running down.
Calling Cena delusional.
Just running down everything that Cena said on Raw. Saying that he wasn't a real man. Saying that the only reason that his 7-year-old cheers for John Cena is because he's 7 and doesn't know better, and that he's trying to destroy the propaganda machine that is John Cena. Yeah. And just like he did at Elimination Chamber, he's going to do it again when he defeats him in their rematch at Money in the Bank. But
Owens is going to rage against the machine.
But as of right now, the NXT Championship Open Challenge starts. Hell, I'm not wearing a watch, and I don't care. So let's, the champ is here. So if you want some, come and get some. I love that he did that. That's the one thing I wanted, and he did it, and it was great. And the challenger was Zack Ryder.
Yeah, well, he decided, I was the last person to do the U.S. Open Challenge, so I might as well be the first person to do the next Open Challenge.
Yeah, why the hell not? And much like Stardust against Ryback, Zack Ryder didn't last very long.
No.
He he
had a flurry or two.
He got a drop kick. And he
didn't even get a broski boot.
No, he didn't get any. He didn't get any signatures.
No signature rider offense. No vintage rider.
Yeah, he got a drop kick. And
basically
some punches. And then he got a pop-up powerbomb.
And then pinned, and then popped up powerbombed again.
With a cannonball in the middle of it.
A cannonball sandwich.
Yeah. Wasn't a good outing for Ryder.
No.
But
Ryder.
Did we really think that Ryder was going to win the NXT title?
Not yet.
One day.
Not until he ditches that Mojo Rawley fella.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't last very much longer. I think you you and Thomas might riot if that actually becomes a thing.
Possible.
They're gonna win. They're gonna defeat Team Thick for the NXT tag titles.
Ain't gonna happen.
That was awkward. We had Sheamus address his upcoming match with Roman Reigns and what the future holds as far as him being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He talks about how Roman Reigns was in 3 matches on Raw, so there might not be anything left to make it to Money in the Bank. And then at Money in the Bank, he's going to be Mr. Money in the Bank and become the new WWE champion. There's a world heavyweight in there somewhere.
He don't cur, he's Sheamus.
And then he uses Roman Reigns'
Believe that.
Believe that, and it sounds funny when it's
Believe that.
with an Irish accent. You do that?
Nope.
Okay. So then we had Neville taking on Kofi Kingston. This match was fun.
Yeah.
You had the
might have been the best of the night.
Absolutely, and you had the involvement of both Big E and Xavier Woods on the outside as well.
They're doing their thing.
But Neville really took it to the New Day by himself. Like they didn't,
The New Day did a really good job of putting Neville over hard.
Yes, he literally was able to deflect the distractions of 2 people while beating the third person with no help whatsoever. Xavier Woods and Big E, did a couple things. That they pulled Kofi out of the way of the Red Arrow once, and then it was Big E that did that, and then Neville decided to moonsault to the outside and hit them both.
Yeah, earlier in the match, they did a bit where Neville went to the outside and Kofi distracted the referee, and Big E got to clothesline Neville.
Yeah, that was about the...
Xavier threw him back in the ring.
That was the New Day's claim to fame in this match.
I'm going to say spot of the night for me was Kofi's pimp slap across Neville's face.
It just backhanded the shit out of Neville.
Yeah.
And Neville just kind of went, the fuck? And then, Neville...
Then he said something in Elfish and then won the match.
Kofi goes for... Well, actually, Neville goes for an O'Connor roll, which Kofi kicks out of, and Neville ends up knocking Xavier Woods off of the apron. Then as he's by the ropes, Kofi goes for a schoolboy, but then he turns it around and turns it into like a
cradle pin.
A cradle pin, and gets the win. Then hops over Xavier Woods to escape the inevitable 3-on-1 attack at the end. So yeah, Neville looks like $1 million coming out of this match.
Yeah. He's gonna have a lot. I feel like he's gonna be the one that they're gonna shoot for. Obviously, WWE's trying to make it so everybody is going for Roman.
Yes.
Going into this thing. But I think what they're trying really hard is to go, okay, well, if they're not going for Roman, we want them to go for Neville because he's looking really strong. And does all these high-flying, flashy things. So they're like, we want to make everybody think that Neville is the serious contender. Because he is really sort of the outplaced guy in this match because he's so much newer to the roster than everybody else. And it being his first Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he's with him and Kofi in it, they're gonna be the spot monkeys.
And Ziggler.
And Ziggler, shit. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of really innovative stuff in this. We always know we get something spectacular from Kofi. And you add, Ziggler always goes balls to the wall in ladder matches. And now you add Neville, who, we've seen in, one ladder match.
Yeah, and here's the thing
WWE.
too, is like they talked about how this fits into Neville's element and how it's, this is his style. And it confused me because in NXT, when he had his ladder match with Bo Dallas, they were touting it as Neville's first ever ladder match.
That's probably bullshit.
So, I mean, either way, if that was Neville's first ever ladder match, then it really doesn't fit into Neville's style at all, honestly. Because it still would be a foreign concept to him.
They get style and element confused. Like, it's...
Just because he's a high flyer, because he's going to be an awesome ladder match guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't always necessarily cross over.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But, it can, because it's Neville.
We'll have to wait and see. So up next, there was no announcement that we were getting an episode of the Maury Show on SmackDown this week, but Maury Povich was played by The Miz this week. His guest was Lana.
Yes.
And he was asking her,
basically insinuating she ditched Rusev to the curb once he wasn't going to be a cash cow anymore.
Yeah, and and he goes, "That's smart. It was a great business decision."
And she's offended because she says, "No, it didn't have anything to do with, his success. It all had to do with the fact that he was a dick.
Yeah.
A giant, throbbing, Bulgarian dick of hatred and evil."
Well, see that
in so many words.
That's a story, though, and to every story, there's two sides. So, surprise guest is Rusev, and Rusev comes out and he tries again to mend defenses.
Yep.
Like he tries to be, pretty much he said, the only reason he was ever successful was because of Lana, and he did everything for her, and he wants her to be his crutch again. And she proceeds to tell him, "I'll show you where you can put your crutches," and slams his crutches into his chest and starts to walk away, and he flips his shit.
You stupid woman cow. Stupid Lana.
He tried so hard to stray away from the word bitch. He
don't want to get in trouble.
There were a couple times he was this close to saying it. Like, I could see it just on the tip of his tongue. He wanted to say it. And he did a good job, but then Ziggler comes down, offers the arm to Lana, they walk away, and Rusev is just beyond pissed off at this point.
Yeah,
And Miz, don't wear a long sweater. You look stupid.
Yeah, Miz, I used to think you were the Miz, but now I just think you're a woman. Which, I mean, hey, it's working for Bruce Jenner, so.
I was going to say, we should change his name to Bruce.
Then he could be your cat.
No.
That'd be fucking weird. One day you woke up and, like, the Miz was sleeping next to you on the bed.
We're going to move on from this nightmare now, because now we have our main event, which is Sheamus taking on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is visibly in pain through this match.
Obviously, he went against three really big guys on Raw. So.
And he's still feeling the effects. And Sheamus, he really digs at that wound, because he destroys Roman through this match.
Yeah.
Some really good innovative stuff, slamming him on the table, chucking him over the table, then using the apron. I think it was after Roman went for his drop kick,
yeah.
And Sheamus moved. Sheamus grabs his arm and kind of like runs him into the apron of the ring. Then is able to give him a quick stomp to the ribs, and he's really selling that rib injury, because he did go against Mark Henry, who crushed him. And then he got the senton from Wyatt.
Yeah.
So he's definitely dealing with some internal injuries at this point.
Roman makes a comeback, though.
He does.
He's making a hot and heavy comeback. He sets up for the Superman punch in the corner, which then prompts Kane and J&J Security to come out.
No Rollins, no Triple H, no Stephanie. It's just Kane and J&J.
Yeah, well, Rollins has sort of isolated himself away from the Authority.
Yeah, he's made it very clear that he doesn't need anybody.
And J&J run with the little duckling mentality, so Kane is the new mama right now. and J&J Security come out with Kane. They don't do anything. They just sit and watch.
Yeah.
Because Kane gets in the ring, he gets involved, boots Roman Reigns in the face, so Roman wins via disqualification. And then he pulls something out of his bag of tricks that none of us really saw coming, and he chokeslams Sheamus.
Yeah, we're thinking, okay, they're trying to get the edge over on Roman Reigns, try and really wear him down before Money in the Bank, so we can guarantee that he's not going to be Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But then when he takes out Sheamus, we're like, well, what the fuck? Like, what did Sheamus do to piss off the Authority?
And then I immediately was like, oh, that's why he did that.
Yeah.
I called it.
And they mentioned it on Raw that there was supposed to be more people added.
The number wasn't going to stop at 6.
Yeah. There was no definite number of how many people were going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, but we now have a 7th man, and that 7th man is Kane.
Yes. Kane is going to be in Money in the Bank, the last participant, so he says, and then he chokeslams Roman Reigns.
But we do have another, week and a half or so until...
We've got another Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's plenty of time for someone else to get added. I mean, I didn't think they were going to do the rematch between Rollins and Ambrose. I immediately thought Ambrose was going to get tossed in Money in the Bank. But he's got the title match, so...
Which is also a ladder match.
Yes.
It's going to be exciting.
Awesome.
I think that's it.
That was it.
That was everything that happened on SmackDown in a nutshell.
Very, very simple SmackDown. Had some high moments, had some, that really didn't need to happen moments, but overall, a good show. I definitely wasn't bored by it. So be sure to go back through the playlist. We've got our midweek wrap-up, which includes Ring of Honor this week. We've got Tom's Top 5 for the month of May, and we have the Elimination Chamber review and the Raw review. All kinds of stuff. We still got indie news coming up this Monday. So be sure to follow all the links down in the description, where you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit, email. Our email, his email. What do you want to do? You can talk to us any way you want and stay up to date when brand new videos go. Are you alright?
A little lightheaded now.
You're really getting into that.
You were.
I got this down. I've done it so many times because next week is our 1-year episode.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
you just turned your face into a hand butt.
I'll have to go back and watch that. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe as well. Thanks for everyone who's been commenting. If you haven't commented, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about SmackDown, what you think about the lineup going into Money in the Bank so far.
And what kind of cake should we eat next week?